leave it all behind you. I said, take down everything that stands in your way. Don't stop believing it'll work out again, my friend. Stand out and be a part of everything good. Wake up, you're gonna be all that you should. Try out all the things you've always wanted to be. You'll see, 'cause I know what I know, that you've got it in you, and I see that you are a winner.
Hello. I don't know exactly what I'm going to say. This is one of those videos where I just got a lot of stuff on my mind, and I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know if I'm going to have some clever little sentence at the end to end the video with a, I don't know. I just know that I'm very discouraged and irritated and angry about ageism. I had a guy in my car last night, I drive for Uber, who is a, I don't remember what exactly he said he was, business major or some kind of business something, and he said that they have to take all these classes in ethics, and he agreed. He said ageism is a huge problem in America, maybe in the world, I don't know, I only live here, but he has parents in their 50s, so he sees it with his parents. I have a friend who worked for an insurance company down the street from me, who's in her 50s, who had been in her job for many, many years, was comfortably in her job, was succeeding at her job. They just told her, well, we're getting rid of this position, so out she goes. Things like getting rid of positions. And then they'll come up with another position that's almost exactly the same that they'll be hiring for, rather than trying to relocate her into another part of the company so she doesn't lose her job and end up scrambling trying to keep her home and trying to keep herself fed and still have some kind of comfort, a comfortable life. Well, we got rid of your position, so bye-bye, thanks for playing. Off she goes into the almost impossible to find a job market that we have right now. So now she's in the same boat I'm in her 50s. I talked to somebody in my car a couple days ago who's, I'm trying to remember what company, Virginia Mason. This woman worked at Virginia Mason, and she was also in her 50s. By the way, newsflash, 50s isn't dead, okay? We're not dead yet. This woman had worked for Virginia Mason, and she was in her 50s for 25 years. Gee, do you think she was successful at her job if she was there for 25 years? Well, I don't know what exactly they told her, but she lost her job too in her 50s. No attempts to relocate people. Everybody knows it's not like a secret that the job market is really tough right now. It's almost impossible to find a full-time job that pays remotely well. Everything is entry level now because, we got to get those 20-somethings into jobs, and we don't have to pay them nearly as much. So, by the way, ageism discriminates against young people too. It discriminates against old people, but it also discriminates against young people. It says to the young people, hey, we can bring you in and we don't have to pay you nearly as much because you don't have the experience. So you're not worth as much. But what did we do to those people that were worth so much? Where did they go? How did your job come to be created? Well, gee, who was sitting in that chair before you came along? And gee, what a bright future you have to look forward to, because no matter how successful you are, no matter how well you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much loyalty you show to your company, you get into your 50s, anything goes. They might just decide that, we're not going to have your position anymore. So here you go. You get to work here until the end of the week. And then, what happens to you after you leave through those doors? We don't really care. We don't care if you find another job. We don't care if you're able to support your family or keep your house or even get to continue living in any kind of thing with 4 walls. You know, if we see you on the street with a cardboard sign, we're look at that loser who served us for 25 years, who worked her ass off for 25 years at our company that we just kicked out the door. Because of why? Oh, because, well, one, she's getting older, so she can't possibly have as much brain cells, right? She can't possibly be as good as a 20-something. But you know what? Our purse is getting a little tight. Let's get rid of all these older people. And we can bring in twice as many younger people, and we'll be paying about the same amount of money in salaries. But we'll have younger people, and we can pay them less, and we can maybe have more of them because we're paying them less. You know, there's so many people looking for jobs now. The positions that are out there, temp to hire. Yeah, temp to hire. So all those people, there's so many of us just waiting for a job. The employers can sit back and, you know, pick and choose who they decide to hire. Oh, you know, so-and-so's doing the job, but maybe not quite up to snuff on the production yet. Maybe if that person is given a couple extra weeks to show that they can do the job, they can get up to production. But nah, let's just get rid of them. Bring in somebody else, probably somebody younger. You know, that's the thing. Older people can still do the work. They might take a little longer to learn stuff. That's another thing too that I really have a problem with, and this is a huge problem. All these assessments, all these online assessments that people you have to get through that stage to even hope to get an interview, right? You have to take the online assessment. Well, you know, when I was younger and I was in school, they had math, they had fractions and decimals, you know, and percentages, and it looked entirely different than what they call new math does. It might still be the same kind of math, might be the same thing, but the problems all look different. So if you showed me a fraction problem right now, I wouldn't even know what it was. I wouldn't know, oh, look, these are fractions here. I have to do fractions. I wouldn't know that those were fractions because it looks entirely different. I'd look at that and go, what the hell is this? What kind of math is this? I don't know what this is. But it's on the test. It might as well be let's see how old you are, try doing these math questions part of the test. And if you don't know those math questions, you're too old for that company. It's a way to weed out the older people who weren't ever taught new math. Why don't you put old stuff on there? Why don't you put old math on your assessments? You know, because the younger people wouldn't know what the fuck that was either. It would weed out all the younger people because they wouldn't know what that was. You know, we don't do that though because we want the younger people. So let's put new math on our assessments and get rid of all the old candidates that are trying desperately to keep their homes and have a job. You know, I might be 52, but I still type 92 words a minute. I still have the ability to think, organize my thoughts, and problem solve. I still have the ability to know when to keep my mouth shut, know when to, you know, I know how to talk people down out of being very angry and stressful. I have a lot of people skills. I'm 52 years old and I still have things to offer. I still have value as a human being. And what kind of jobs am I looking for? Because all I see around me in my field are entry-level jobs for all those new people, all those young people that don't need to be paid so much, who can live in, you know, houses with 8 other young people. I see entry-level jobs. I see temp-to-hire jobs. And all these jobs have these assessments with that new math that, oh my goodness, if you don't know what the hell that new math is, you're screwed trying to pass those assessments. So what kind of work am I doing? What kind of jobs am I trying to find? I drive for Uber. I drive for Lyft. I now am a delivery driver. I've been looking for jobs as babysitter, dog sitter, cat sitter. I applied as a bus driver. Guess what? Bus driver. The assessment had new math. First of all, why does math matter with a bus driver job? Really? Math? But yeah, it was there on the test. Math. And it was new math. So I knew it absolutely, did not know what the hell it was. Did I pass the test? Probably not. Ageism is a really horrible thing. You're putting people into this box. You're saying, oh, because you're over 50. First of all, people don't stay at their companies anymore like they used to. So really, what does it matter what age a person is? Oh, well, this person's younger, so they'll stay with our company so much longer. No, they'll be out the door in a couple years. In fact, hiring an older person, you're more likely to get company loyalty. You're more likely to get somebody who wants to stay for the long haul. But either way, you know, they're going to retire in 10 years, or they'll be gone in 3 or 4. You know, that shouldn't matter. I think just like companies are required to have so many minorities, so many handicapped people physically or emotionally or mentally, whatever, people who are physically or mentally challenged, companies are supposed to have so many people, you know, their quota of people who are physically or mentally challenged, their quota of minorities, their quota of women, supposedly. Do they have their quota? Do companies need to have their quota of older people? Because I don't think they do, and I think they should. I think older people should have to, they should have an equal, I'm sorry, but supposedly this exists. Everybody has an equal chance. No, it doesn't exist, but it should exist. And it's everybody's problem. It's younger people's problem, because basically employers are saying, we can afford to pay you less because you'll take less. You're trying to get experience. You'll do whatever it takes to get through the door and sit at the desk and get that experience. So, ooh, when you have just enough of it that it's impressive, we'll kick you out the door because, number one, we don't want to pay what you're worth. And number two, well, gee, you're older. Somebody who's younger will be so much better than you are. So ageism kind of sucks for no matter who you are. If you're younger, it sucks. If you're older, it sucks. If you're younger, guess what you have to look forward to when you're older? Same thing. Ageism sucks. And I really think something needs to be done. I think attitudes need to change. Employers, where's the compassion? Where's the sense of appreciation for somebody who's given their best to you for the long haul? Just kick them out the door, and who gives a flying fuck what happens to them? They still have skills. They have things to contribute. 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s, people have things they can contribute. And they should be allowed. I will say this, as much as I'm unhappy that Home Depot pays so little. Home Depot is a great company because they hire older people. Home Depot recognizes that older people still have things they can contribute and have value as human beings. I don't care much for Walmart either, because I don't think they pay their employers very well, or their employees very well. I don't think they treat them very well. But they hire older people. But, you know, think about Home Depot jobs and Walmart jobs. What kind of jobs are they? How well do they pay? How hard are they making older people stand on their feet for hours and hours and hours? What about these nice cushy desk jobs, these customer service jobs, these jobs where somebody doesn't need to have so much physical whatever, but they, you know, but it takes, you know, being able to think and use their brain and communicate well. Why aren't older people being hired for those jobs? Because those older people know a lot about life and how to talk to people and how to give good customer service and caring and compassion. And they still do have a brain. Okay, maybe the brain cells don't fire quite as fast, but whatever happened to the whole quality is more important than quantity? That's the kind of thing that I always grew up. When I was younger, I had a plaque on my desk that said expect excellence. And everything I did was one and done. That was that's what I strove for. I didn't pass the buck to other employees. If it came to my desk, I tried to get the job done so it wouldn't come back to me later, or somebody else creating work for somebody else. One and done. That was the motto. That is still my motto. And here I am, and I type 92 words a minute, and I've been a follow-up biller for 15 years, I go after insurance companies. I get them to pay bills they don't want to pay. I get money for the doctors, for their services. What kind of work am I applying for? I'm applying to be a delivery driver because I don't know new math and I'm older. So shoot me. Why don't we just take all the people once they turn 50 out into the field and shoot them? Because it would be a lot less painless than watch everything you've worked so hard for just fall around your ears. Watch yourself lose everything, including your dreams, just because of something you have no control over, namely aging. Why don't we just put us out of our misery rather than watch everything slip away? I hate ageism. When I was in my 40s, when I first took on my job at Swedish, I was... I'm trying to think, because it was 11. I was there for 11 years, so I would have probably been 40 when I started working at Swedish. That was a good job. 11 years later, there's nothing. After being there for 11 years, the job market has changed so much. There's so many people looking for jobs. Of course, the younger people get first pick. Of course they do. All those people who can pass the stupid assessments that have the new math that older people my age we were never taught this new math. We see problems like that. It's Greek. At least that's how it is for me. Maybe I need to go to school to learn new math. But anyway, so I'm just a little bit frustrated, and I think ageism is a harm in our society. That and offshoring jobs. What is it? Why is America killing itself? We're slitting our own throat by offshoring jobs to other countries. Ooh, let's give all the work to people that don't even live in this country. So the people who do live in this country, what's left? We can hold a flag at construction sites. Yeah, you can be a delivery driver. Yeah. Go work at a warehouse. Go to school and be retrained to be to wear a hard hat and, do jobs at a construction site. Because that's all there is. Dishwasher, you could be a dishwasher. You could be a service person. You can drive a limousine. You could drive a bus if you know new math. But all the real good jobs, all those middle class jobs that the middle class kind of needs to continue to survive, don't exist anymore. They're in other countries. And our good, wonderful, our government, the United States government, takes United States government jobs and sends them overseas. So much for supporting the people that support the government. Humana and TRICARE, these are government agencies. Where, if you call their customer service department, who are you going to talk to? Somebody in the Philippines, somebody in India. United States government offshores its own jobs. It doesn't support its own people. So yeah, those are my two real problems. Offshoring jobs is killing the middle class. There would be jobs out there for us older people if not for offshoring. And ageism. Basically saying, yeah, well, whatever. We'd rather pay younger people a lot less money. And who gives a rat's ass what happens to you? So anyway, that's all. I just felt like having a rant. Thank you for watching.
I am absolutely convinced that the main source of hatred in the world is religion. And I think it should be religion treated with ridicule and hatred and contempt.
Share the same weather, winter or summer, May or September, the 4th of whenever, it's better together. Let's get together.